The Charlotte Hornets are off to a hot start this season, and a lot of it has to do with Lamelo Ball. Lamelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets are off to a 2-1 start to start the season, and they have another game coming up tonight against the Miami Heat. Lamelo Ball so far this season has averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, and about 10 assists per game through 3 games, coming off of a 38 point, 13 rebound, 13 assist performance this past Sunday. The two biggest things for me to start the season for the Hornets is the fact that Lamelo is healthy to start the season, but also the roster around him is a solid one. To start the Lamelo Ball court vision film breakdown, we see a pick and roll action which he excels in. We will see this all throughout this video. Now it doesn't work out, you don't make the bucket, and it's a broken play. But the next biggest thing about this play is that if you don't rotate and you leave Lamelo open, he is a sharp shooter from deep. We get to see Lamelo Ball out in transition on this play, and he has no options to go to, no reads to make. So they get into what we call a secondary offense, which just includes a ball screen action. And here's different reads on this ball screen. Lamelo Ball could easily kick out to the right side corner, the strong side corner, in which would be a snake pass, is what we would call it. When that corner guy pinches down, you make that pass over because he has to play the roll man. But instead, the roll man's not open. He's open, but Lamelo has his matchup on his back. So as we let the play out, he keeps him on his back and just gets an easy floater in the lane. Again, the featured play of this video is a pick and roll action, and we see it here, except Lamelo sees the hedge man early and splits it down the middle. So now his matchup and the hedge man are behind the play. This forces the defense to fully collapse on him. There's a guy on the right block that needs to be accounted for, which is why the defender in the right corner needs to crash down. He could have had a kick out pass to the right corner once again, but nobody picks him up. So why would you kick out to a 3 when the high percentage shot is in the lane? And Lamelo is not completely a liability on the defensive end of the court. You'll see him here have active hands per usual, which leads to a steal and leads to a bomb of a pass. Not only does Lamelo play with pace, but he also has one of the quickest first steps in the league, which works out in his favor here. And this is just a ridiculous pass. You see the 2-on-1 with the guy on the backside. His matchup has to jump at Lamelo. Maybe not necessarily jump at him, but pick him up. And it leads to a slide-off pass. Should have been an easy layup, easy dunk, but good recovery by the defense, just better offense. I think one of the best pickups of the offseason for the Hornets was Knipple and getting him in the draft. And it's because he can stretch the floor for Lamelo, but I love the way they're using him in ball screens or handoff actions. And here we get to see Knipple come off a down screen and get the ball to get into that handoff. But the most important part of this action is that he gets a flare screen set for him, Knipple does, and goes off to the left wing. This is not the correct read here, but Lamelo Ball can still attack the center going downhill and getting the layup at the basket. Later on, we will see Knipple get a 3-point basket off of a pick and pop. Now I know this is a broken play, so Lamelo gets the ball out in transition, and he makes a kick out pass to Knipple for a wide open 3 in the corner, but this is what they drafted him for, and this connection kept happening over and over again throughout this game. I don't break promises, guys. We get to see a Knipple 3 on this play, and it's pretty much the same play we saw a couple plays ago, where I said he came off that flare screen and was open on the left wing. Here, he actually gets open on the left wing again off that flare screen, and this time Lamelo gets trapped off of the ball screen and has to kick it his way. Easy play, easy money. Watching back on replay, that was supposed to be a flare screen. Sometimes you have to improvise. That double team allowed for an easy slip from the big man, so it wasn't necessarily needed, but it was the actual play itself. Again, I don't care if this is a broken play or not, it happens within the game of basketball, so here we are. Lamelo Ball not giving up on the play, getting a rebound, and getting a bucket. Another reason why you don't give up on a play. You can create more opportunities for yourself. He misses the first shot, but eventually gets the ball back in turn, because that's just how it goes. You don't expect it all the time, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles, and he gets an open 3 at the top of the key by hustling and giving himself that extra opportunity. This time around, Lamelo Ball comes off of his own flare screen, which allows him to get downhill, and it forces the defense to collapse. He throws the perfect slip pass to the big man Diabate down the middle, Now, just because it's a perfect play doesn't mean it's going to be a perfect result because there's a missed layup. But once again, never give up on the play, getting an offensive rebound, getting second chance points helps your team. After getting downhill early in this game and getting layups or floaters at the basket, or even making slip passes to the baseline cut or roll man, you finally get a kickout pass on this play. And I believe that Lamelo Ball, when healthy, is not only a top 3 pick and roll guy in the league, pick and roll point guard in the league, but a top 5 point guard overall in the league. And I think he's someone you need to watch out for. This Hornets team will make the play in at the least if he stays healthy. Now let's dig into his playmaking ability, which we got a chance to see a couple of times so far in this video, but there's a lot more to go through. Another pick and roll read and a kick out pass to the left wing, but this guy is a highlight reel. So we won't see it here. This is a basic read for a pick and roll offense, but let's look at this next play. Now I want y'all to take a look at this play in the start of this play and tell me what read you think he should make. We're going to freeze the play right here and take a look at this, look at the spacing, look at where the defense is playing. Now, if it were me, I would have made that bounce pass to the roll man as somebody fell down within the play. But Lamelo Ball is much smarter than me. Maybe there's a reason I'm not in the pros. Because the guy from the left side corner decides to crash on the roll man, and this skip pass going all the way across is an absolutely ridiculous play to make. Like, come on, man, talk about a highlight reel. This is a guy you want as a teammate because he makes every single one of his teammates better. Alright, let's get into this next play. As Lamelo Ball, again putting his teammates in the correct spots on the floor. You start with a staggered ball screen, and the first screen is Miles Bridges. You expect him to come off of the second screen, but you always need to look and make the read. You don't need to use the second screen always. So he makes the dump off pass, and Miles Bridges is another human highlight reel. To start the year, I had the Charlotte Hornets out of the play-in. I felt like this was reasonable. They had health issues over the last couple of years, including Lamelo Ball and last year Brandon Miller as well. Now that they're both healthy, Con Knipple looks like the best draft pick for them. I feel like a lot of pieces are coming together and they have a chance at making a run at the play-in. No more than a 7th seed in my eyes because I have other teams ahead of them. But the Charlotte Hornets being a 7th seed is better than them playing for the lottery every year. Let me know in the comments whether or not the Hornets are a playoff team, play-in team, or just another year of playing in the lottery. Be sure to like and subscribe. Go follow us on all socials. This was another episode of Court Vision, a Life in the Stands production. Let us know what you would like to see in a future episode. Remember to rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We love to hear all the feedback. And remember, the film never lies.